I am fully aware that this time is different is a powerfully dangerous sentence. So on October 10, we had one of the biggest liquidation events in crypto history. Massive selling. Lots of people were levered long. What do whales do? Well, if you had billions of dollars of money to invest or trade, your experience would be completely different. You wouldn't just buy and hold something and hope it goes up. You would actually be able to move and control markets. So when you see a whole bunch of people super levered long, it's very easy to shake them out. You wait for some sort of bearish headline, like Donald Trump says something about tariffs, you drop a massive short position, you cause a squeeze in all the levered longs, you make a lot of money, and essentially you profit from the exit liquidity. Because if you were to just deploy $100 million into a chart, you would cause the price to move and people would sell into you. You don't want to be moving markets like that. So you wait till everyone gets positioned a certain way and you squeeze them. That is what a lot of these massive traders do. Shout out to this guy for opening a $330 million short position on Ethereum minutes before Trump announced tariffs on China. Let the corruption live on, right? Whales are playing a completely different game than the rest of us. The people that actually make life-changing returns buy and hold for the long term. Traders who use leverage get liquidated because whales can see the cards that everyone has. It's like playing cards with people and they can look at what you have. Whales can see what everyone is doing. They can see where the herd is and they know how to squeeze them. So we had a massive liquidation event in these assets. It's short-term noise. It's happened to Bitcoin many times and Bitcoin has still skyrocketed over the years. So here's the chart of ICP. It got dinged massively during the liquidation event. A whole bunch of these assets got hit. ICP is slowly recovering. Guess what it looks exactly like? The chart of crypto, total market cap excluding top 10 dominance. Massive hit, recovery. So ICP again is correlated with the rest of the altcoin market. That's what the chart looks like for the assets outside of the top 10. So a lot of these altcoins totally undiscovered. There's zero institutional capital in this space. It is a complete ghost town. So if you want to know why crypto is not performing like the stock market, it's because there's no real money in this space. There's small dollars. Retail traders are essentially the only people in this space, especially these altcoins outside of the top 10. The institutional money is in the Bitcoin ETF, maybe the Ethereum ETF. It's not touching these other altcoins. So we're in a total ghost town. Now, it didn't stop Cardano from going up 100x in the last bull run when macro conditions were favorable. In fact, a little trickle of institutional money caused an asset like Cardano to do this. That's why we stay on top of assets like ICP, because if it has a revolutionary technology, increasing adoption, strong technology and fundamentals, then it's likely to provide a similar return when we get a favorable macroeconomic situation. So that's why we stay on top of what Raoul Pal is saying. He looks at global liquidity. He looks at what moves these assets, and that's going to give us a glimpse into what the future of altcoins is, undiscovered altcoins is, and therefore the future of ICP, because again, currently they're correlated. And so as we've been covering on this channel, the reason altcoins are so weak is because really the entire economy is so weak. Here's the ISM. This measures industrial and manufacturing activity. This is the real economy. This is small cap assets. This is not big tech AI assets. This is the real economy in black. In pink, we see Bitcoin implied ISM pricing. So even Bitcoin, with BlackRock's help, hasn't been able to really outperform. It's been stagnant. It's gone from like 69K to 100 plus K in 3 or 4 years. It really hasn't done that much, even with BlackRock's help. What hope do altcoins have? None in this environment. Interest rates have been way too high. They've strangled the economy. There's zero interest in speculative assets. There's zero interest in early stage assets. The market wants AI, right? They see Microsoft spending hundreds of billions of dollars on data centers. That's where the institutional capital is going. So again, why is ICP not outperforming or acting terribly compared to the rest of the stock market? Because the stock market is made up of like 7 stocks that carry the indexes and are spending hundreds of billions of dollars on artificial intelligence. That is literally the only asset group right now skyrocketing. Everything else looks like the ISM, including altcoins. I've mentioned this on this channel, but it's super important. The ISM looks like an altcoin. We had the bull market in 2021. We had the collapse. Now we've just been doing nothing. So what hope do altcoins have when we get liquidations like we just saw? So what we've been waiting for is the same thing every single other rational investor on the planet who isn't all in on big tech is waiting for. Real estate investors, biotech investors, we're all waiting for the same thing, for macroeconomic conditions to change, right? Interest rates have just been stiflingly too high for years. So that's why ICP has been underperforming. That's why altcoins have been underperforming. So this is driven by the ISM business cycle being lackluster so far, which in turn is driven by less need to add liquidity in the US due to most debts extending to 5 years and needing to be rolled over the next 12 months. $10 trillion to be rolled over the next 12 months. So what Raoul Pal is saying is the structure of US debt has changed. The reason we've had a bull market every 4 years like clockwork is because the US government has been able to refinance their debt every 4 years like clockwork because interest rates have been zero. It's been very easy for them to just refinance at a low rate. Now that interest rates are high, they can't do that. Even the US government is hurting. The US government is hurting like an altcoin right now because interest rates are too high. They can't even refinance their debt normally. Thus, the bulk of liquidity is delayed and forward-looking indicators suggest it lies ahead. Financial conditions give us a 3-month lead. So in black, we see the GM total liquidity index. You can see it crashing from 2021, just like an altcoin. It's been slowly ticking up. And what we see leads this is the GMI Financial Conditions Index. So it leads it by 3 months. Well, that's been moving up higher than the black line, which is what Raoul Pal has been saying, is that we have upside to look forward to in terms of liquidity, in terms of price action of these altcoins. So here's the ISM again in black, and we have the GMI Total Liquidity Index pumping, moving up in the right direction. And so Raoul Pal is saying the GMI Total Liquidity Index is leading the ISM. We know the ISM leads altcoins. And that all drive number go up. NDX, the NASDAQ, has a slight premium currently, but that is normal at this phase when there's no investment capital looking to explore undiscovered assets. Capital is really expensive. Interest rates are high. So all the money is going to the safest thing on the planet, the NASDAQ 100 in pink, which is outperforming the GMI Total Liquidity Index in black. And BTC in pink usually decouples to the upside too at this point in the cycle. So what he's saying is in pink, Bitcoin is about to outperform global liquidity. And to us, that is why this cycle is lackluster thus far, because 2025 was not the year of the big debt rollover. Thank you, COVID, for allowing average maturity to be lengthened by a year as rates hit zero. So again, here's the ISM in black. In pink, we see the 4-year sine curve of liquidity in US debt. Normally, they track each other perfectly. Guess what happened to all the ICP investors? ICP was launched here. The ISM is cratered, and it hasn't moved. And so unlike any other 4-year cycle, early stage investors in ICP have been punished, right? It's just an unfortunate situation for investors. But it's really not when you think about the potential, right? We've had years of studying these assets and acquiring these assets and earning passive income on these assets. So my ICP has been staked. It pays you every single day passive income that you can take, sell, and buy whatever you want with. So for ICP stakers, it's been better than for ICP non-stakers, right? We've had passive income to play with while we've been waiting. So probabilistically speaking, things have shifted. In black, we see the ISM doing nothing. But if you look at the 5.4-year sine curve, that's moving up. Liquidity is heading in the right direction. And as we've covered on this channel in previous videos, 2026 is supposed to be a massive year, a massive year. I can't get into that in this video, but because we covered it so much in previous videos, but 2026, Q4 2025 should be absolutely massive. So yes, we're going to deal with these liquidity events. Bitcoin dealt with a liquidity event back here in March 20. It cratered down to 3K before going up to 69K. Because again, what do whales do? They clear out the herd. Now there's no leverage longs. So what can they do? They can use leverage and buy up as much as they want, cause the chart to pump, cause a massive bull market, wait till people get super leveraged long again, and then squeeze them. Again, the world would be completely different for you if you were trading with billions of dollars. You could literally manipulate markets. That's what they do. Well, now there's no one to manipulate on the long side. So that has to get built up before we can get another flash crash. But Raoul Pal, again, Q4 2025 into 2026, as we've covered, that's still the target, rock solid prediction. I am fully aware that this time is different, is a powerfully dangerous sentence, but our view at GMI is that it's not different. It is the same cycle because the cycle is based on debt maturity. So all said and done, regardless of what sparked it, Friday was a flash crash. Flash crashes usually recover in V shapes, back to their prior price range, and usually go on to make new highs shortly after. In this case, we entirely wiped out all accumulated leverage to higher, right? The setup could not be more bullish for ICP. and these undiscovered altcoins. And here's what makes ICP totally different, right? Ridiculous fundamentals as we've covered. This is Dominic Williams, the head of ICP. This is October 10. This is hopefully the last weekend before Caffeine AI opens up, so anyone can create apps using AI on a revolutionary self-writing network stack that pushes today's limits. We'll watch and tune, then slowly ramp marketing. Millions of apps on ICP possible. So far, the degen experience of blockchain has been limited to tokens and wallets, which can be swapped for other tokens and narratives. With Caffeine, degens will be able to directly experience blockchain in a whole new way as a crypto cloud where AI builds, lets scales fall from ice. He's talking about real technology. So what the early stage investor community has done is taken over a Solana meme coin, because what we want to do is bring external liquidity that's outside of the ICP ecosystem, that's part of the Solana ecosystem, bring that TVL onto ICP. We want to integrate them. We're using Caffeine AI. This is what one of the team members, and by team members I mean someone who owns over 10 million WAGMI tokens and is a member of my Patreon. This is what they've been doing. They're playing with Caffeine AI using our WAGMI token. The sky is the absolute limit. Here's the price action of WAGMI. It's been absolutely skyrocketing because it actually has good tokenomics, because we're using revenues earned by my Patreon, by my social medias, to buy up the supply. So it's backed up by revenues. It's unlike any other asset on the planet. We picked a Solana meme coin that had practically zero insiders, and we've been buying it up quietly. We let our Patreon community know. We've been getting organic buys. Here's the price action of WAGMI. Again, the ultimate goal of this token is to be used on ICP to increase transactions, to increase cycle burns. And so it's working. Right now, we're just absorbing total value lock on Solana. We're going to be bridging the ecosystem. We're using Caffeine AI to do that. We're already tinkering with it. The sky is the absolute limit. We can create a metaverse. We can create games. We can create tournaments. And our goal is to make it the #1 meme coin on ICP. And that's possible with external liquidity. Again, we don't just want to be incestuous, taking liquidity from other projects on ICP. We want to take liquidity from the Solana ecosystem and bridge the communities, and it's all possible with Caffeine AI. So it's working. We have an unbelievable uptrend. We have a flywheel of revenue going to buy back this token. This token is going to be utilized in Caffeine AI applications on ICP. We're going to increase community. We're going to increase transactions. We're going to increase usage of ICP. And I'll share the future plans with you more, but that is an update from Raoul Pal on the liquidity situation. Q4 2025 bull market still intact. We just had a beautiful flush out of leveraged longs. That's usually what it takes to trigger the bottom of a bull market. Could it continue? 100%. I've been saying all along, we could get flash crashes that shake people out. That's exactly what we saw. But disciplined investors who know how to not be manipulated by whales understand that assets like ICP are correlated to altcoins. Altcoins have very low liquidity, very little institutional capital. The macro environment has not been favorable. A lot of that's changing, as we've covered on this channel. And so the sky's the limit heading into Q4.